been absolutely insane watching people who have watched Doctor Who for decades, decades at this point, come out and complain about how the series has changed from being a good story to how awful and terrible it is, and how it does nothing but focus on real world politics. And they absolutely hate it. And there's people saying, oh, they're just racists and bigots and all these other things, doing the typical name calling, trying to shame them. But that doesn't work anymore. And regardless of how, the BBC doesn't want to acknowledge that this is one of their worst series now, with some of the lowest viewership in the history of Doctor Who. Actually, I did cover that. It's the worst viewership in the history of Doctor Who. Nothing even comes close to being this terrible. Even the first airings of Doctor Who were better than this season. These recent seasons, they've all had better ratings and better viewership. But the BBC is out there coping and saying instead it boasts the series is their top drama for under 35s this year. Under 35s. But this isn't the entire story today. No, we're going to go even deeper, because regardless of how much the BBC is coping and trying to say that this is their best series for under 35s, which I highly doubt, because we went over those numbers, they're awful. We've got the showrunner himself talking about how much the show is doing poorly. So even the showrunner, with all the BBC's cope, just straight up puffing gigantic garbage cans of copium, even the showrunner is out here saying, yeah, I know this is kind of bad. So let's get into it. So here we go. It's cataloged by UK television analytics firm Barb. Across 8 total episodes, the 15th Doctor's debut season only pulled in an objectively terrible average of 2 million overnight viewers and 3.5 million of consolidated viewers. And most of that was people watching to review it because of how terrible it is. But here we go. Episode 1, 2.6 million. Episode 2, 2.2. Episode 3, 2.4. Episode 4, 2.6. And I think that was the one that went really crazy that everybody had to go look at. But we're down to 2.2 million. 2.2 million viewers. Yet despite it performing worse than the original series, season 26, whose ratings were so bad that it led Doctor Who to being put on ice for almost a full 16 years. The 8th Doctor's 1996 television film, being the franchise's only official screen production during that time, the latest Doctor Who season continues to receive the full support of the BBC's PR machine. Absolutely. So here's the cope. Met with the topic of the series' struggling performance while speaking to the UK entertainment magazine Radio Times, the showrunner affirmed, I'm very proud of this season thus far. You know, they might not be the ratings we'd love. We always want higher, but they are building over the 28-day period. I was brought back in to bring in a youthful audience that's been massively successful. The worst viewership in the history of Doctor Who. Worse than what caused it to be put on a 16-year hiatus. And you're saying, no, this is totally good. This is totally fine, guys. It is the meme of the what is it? The dog sitting at the table drinking coffee. There's fire around him. He's like, no, this is fine. So he goes on to continue. The audience, no one ever gets are the under 30s. That's not true. They're just not watching your garbage. They just don't want to watch television anymore. Yes, they do. You just make garbage they don't want to watch. But those figures are astronomical for Doctor Who. It is their top program in this bracket. Oh, this is all cope and garbage. All cope and garbage. But, that article's from, let's see, the 28th. So that's, 4 days ago now? 4 days ago. To now we get Doctor Who showrunner Russell T Davies and show's ratings are not doing that well. Like I said at the beginning, it's all cope. It's all terrible views. Nobody actually likes it except for the people trying to own the chuds, own the racists and the bigots, coming in and flooding comment sections saying how great this show is. Except it's not. It's not, because if it was, people would be watching it. So here we go. So here we go. Davies stated, in coming back, I wanted to make it simpler. I wanted to make it younger. Those two things are not discussed. You read reactions to it, and people are missing that. It's simpler and younger, and it's working. The under 16s and the 16 through 34, why'd you separate that out? 16 to 34 audience as well is massive. Except it's not. You have the lowest viewership of any Doctor Who. What the hell are you even talking about? However, despite the spitting, he admitted the truth. It's not doing that well in ratings, but it is doing phenomenally well with the younger audience that we wanted. It's not doing well. It has the lowest viewership. It has the lowest ratings, but we're doing fine, guys. Like, this is the guy that goes to a bar, talks trash, gets his ass beat, and is like, "No, I totally won that fight, dude. You're in the hospital." No, but they are too. No, actually, none of them have a scratch on them. But I won that fight. No, you didn't. You didn't at all. You lost everything. They broke both your legs. Yeah, but I messed them up. No, you didn't do anything. They didn't even have a black eye. No, I totally won. Like the sheer denial and cope of the British at this point. They go from a massive empire that spans the globe to making utter trash, talking about diversity and enforcing transgender woke commie ideology, and call it a win. I kind of want to sit down with these people and ask them, if you didn't eat breakfast yesterday, how would you feel? I have a feeling they would struggle to answer that. So again, they're talking about the BBC spokesperson. Doctor Who remains one of the most watched programs on iPlayer and is the BBC's top dominant for under 35s. That's the article from 4 days ago. The spokesperson also bragged about the season's premiere, which has only brought in 6 million viewers after nearly 2 months. Nearly 2 months. You know, House of the Dragon's significantly better. And although I take issue with the race swapping of characters because it causes massive issues in the plot line, it's a good show. It really is. But Doctor Who pales in comparison to this. Because nobody actually likes it. Everybody is just trying to own the bigots. Because they're all watching the black people in Game of Thrones. But since they're not watching Doctor Who, they're bigots. It makes zero sense. It makes zero sense to me. So again, after nearly 2 months, the season of Doctor Who premiered on iPlayer nearly 24 hours before the broadcast, and episode 1 has already been viewed by 6 million viewers and continues to grow. Again, the number of people I've seen pull up the video to make fun of it, it's more than likely where all the views come from. It's people showing how bad the series is. And this is what they're proud of. I am at a loss for words how much cope there is with even the showrunner saying it's pretty bad. But of course, like always, I expect tons of comments from people. You just don't know what you're talking about. It's going fantastic. No, it's not. It's absolutely not. And other people claiming to be racist, not knowing what I do and what... Anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that, guys. I want to hear your thoughts in the comments section on this one. I want to hear jokes about. I want to hear all the cope jokes. I want cope jokes. But while you're there, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share this one out. And until the next one, guys, be easy like sleazy.